it is Elizabeth Howson with Howson History, and today's teaching tidbit is on setting up your notebook. I'm going to start with the fact that I use composition books. In the past, I have used spiral notebooks, but I've noticed that students tear out pages in a spiral notebook, and I don't want that. We need all of it. So I've just gone ahead and used the composition book like you see here. You'll notice right away when you look at our notebook, the outside, I have this American flag duct tape that we use to make it so that students can easily identify their notebook. You might be in a subject that you're not teaching American history. Get color duct tape. I get it at Walmart. They have a whole wall of colors. When I discovered it, get purple, get green, get to yellow, orange, or red. Whatever works for you. Get with the teachers in your subject. Say, hey, what color do we want to use? And you make it easily identifiable for students. The other thing that makes it easily identifiable is students shove their notebooks into their backpacks as we go ahead and we color the top just like this, so that when they're digging through their bag with all their notebooks, they can easily pull it out. All right, so when we open up our notebook right here, you'll notice right away I have glued in 2 envelopes. I like to do this because we use a lot of flashcards, and so students can use these to study with. They'll stick them in the envelope. In my second envelope, we actually get a mini pocket constitution, and so that goes in there, but you could do double flashcards. If you wanted to on this cover, you could take a half sheet of cardstock, cut it, and fit it. You can have the students glue around it so it goes in. The other thing that I love to use is the packing tape, the clear packing tape. And so you could just tape around that also so that it stays in there. Next thing you want students to do is you want to have a cover page. Do not forget this, because when the student leaves their notebook somewhere, because somebody always does, it can easily be returned to them. Also, don't forget on that page, have your name and have your room number, so that if it is left downstairs in the cafeteria, somebody can bring it up to you. It's not a big deal. You don't have to track down the kid. They just bring it to you. I know that some people like to keep a table of contents, and that is what you would do next. I am not that organized. I am on that train that is chugging 110 miles per hour, and I'm go, 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 choo, choo, choo. And so I tried in the past to keep one. I don't go back to it. I forget. I just start going. If you want to do a table of contents, do your next pages, 3 or 4 pages, keep it blank. That is awesome. What I start with is my units are still easily identifiable by using these unit tabs right here. Every unit starts with what we call a unit page, a colored unit page. Each unit is a different color. I had 6 units this year. I've condensed it down, but if you have more, that's okay. How do we keep our unit tab from not breaking? As students are gluing this in, I come around with a small piece of my clear packing tape and they put it right over it. My unit pages just have some of my dates, some vocabulary, some important people. That's what works for us. The other thing that we have students put in is they put in a passport. They get this review sheet right away. It is right there for them to look at and study for their test. Right away, I tell parents, hey, they get it from day 1. They can already start. Why do we call it a passport? Because students have to earn stamps inside a passport. When they finish a row, they bring it to me. I ask them a question. If they get it right, I stamp in it to say, hey, you got that credit. My passport and unit pages are always due the day before the test, so we make sure that you are ready for that test that is coming. I always try to leave markers out for students, so if they love to make things colorful, they can do that inside their notebook, and that works great for them. Now, how do I save time in my notebook? Because we do a lot of things on our Chromebook. We are one-to-one. I get it that you have all this technology. Why would I go to a notebook? Notebooks are great to put everything into one place. As a parent, I love that my kids have notebooks because if they don't understand something, I'm like, let's look in your notebook. I can go through that with you. If I was trying to go through it on the Chromebook, oh, no, I got it. Like, they don't want me to touch it. It's like personal property. Okay, but a notebook, they don't mind. Also, we're driving, we're traveling, we do sports. We're all over the place. Guess what you studying in the car? You study in your notebook right there, and so they can pull it out. We do all these activities with our Chromebook. We do all this primary source reading. We do really, really hard stuff. We make projects. Y'all, we debate, we analyze, we evaluate. We do it all. But we go back to our notebook. We try to spend maybe 10 or 15 minutes in it. How do I save that time? Fill in the blank notes. I know not everybody agrees with me, but I want to do the fun stuff. I want to do the things that help them remember history, remember my class, remember the things we do. But I also want them to have their stuff in one place. So we do this to save time. This activity right here, this was on the New England colonies. In the New England colonies, we did a whole museum tour. We had 3 rooms transformed. We had artifacts out. In each museum, there was 3 separate museums. They had over 20 primary sources to analyze and evaluate. That is a lot of work. So on day 4, after they did their rotations through the museums, we came back and we broke it down and we talked about it and we compared and contrasted, and we did it with those fill in the blank notes. Sometimes when we do stations, the other thing that we'll do to help us save time is we will go ahead with the station being done and we will actually do the station answers inside the booklet that we're going to use that's going to be glued in. So here is a Lincoln and Jefferson Davis. They had to look at their speeches. They had to compare them. Lots of different primary sources right there. They did it on this booklet, turned it into me. I'm a real quick grader. I was real quick to give it back, and then we glued it in. I go to the Xerox machine. 3 pieces of paper, put it on booklet, it copies through and it gives me this right here, and I always make sure it's only 3 so that the back is blank and they can glue it in there. One thing you may have noticed as I was flipping through the notebook is I do have little notes up here. Towards the front I was using sticky notes. As a teacher, this is a tip, go ahead and write your sticky notes of what exactly that activity was. What were the dates that you did it? This is going to help you pull that notebook out next year when you're going, okay, what did we do? Let me look at it. It's all right there. I know I went over my 5 minutes. I'm super sorry, but I hope it helped you. There's your teaching tidbits on how to set up a notebook.